Hello, everyone. I'm back at you with What's the Tea with Nikkolayla. It's a brand new week. It's a brand new time. Everybody get ready for my brand new ride. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Anyway, I am here. This is What's the Tea with Nikkolayla, and this is my face-to-face series that I put on every once in a while. And this month, it's going to be about relationships. Well, anyway, so I'm going to give you a a little tidbit. So relationships, who's in them, who's not? What are you doing? Are you in a relationship with the number one person in your life? That would be the person that you look at in the mirror when you're getting ready for your day. Anyway, just being goofy. So I'm so glad you came back. It's like I said, what's the tea with Nikkolayla? Ting, ting, ting. Anyway, tip your tea hot. Tip your tea. I'm here, like I said before, to talk about relationships. So I discovered a song and I will post it at the end so you can review it. I think it's a magnificent song because it completely goes with the concept of what I am doing regarding my series of relationships. Relationships are so important. The relationship that you have, of course, first and foremost with yourself, with your family members, brother, sister, mother, cousin, niece, nephew, husband, wife, all of those interactions of relationships. Everybody has one. Work colleagues, everybody is having a relationship somewhere, some way, shape, or form. And then they expand out. So you have your central your hub, that cell relationship, which of course starts with you because you're that one cell, and then it expands on and on and on and on, and then we get to society. But we're not there yet because first and foremost, you got to work on yourself. So anyway, regarding relationships, this is what I'm going to touch on today: is that I am a relationship coach. I'm a spiritual relationship coach. So I will be posting some information on my services so you can know more about what I do and how I can assist. And you can always go to my website. The link is always at the end of every video that I do. So you can actually tune in, turn on, and find out, you know, if you need, if you require, or if you're feeling that you just want to talk about something. I'm giving a 20-minute $5 consultation so we can touch on some of your whatever you want to touch on with me in those 20 minutes, and we can touch base. Okay, so anyway, and the information will be loaded at the bottom. The information will be noted at the bottom so you can find out how to reach me, and we can connect and you make an appointment. So anyway, I'm here again, like I said, to talk about relationships. And first and foremost, I'm going to talk about my own relationship. First, my relationship with myself. Now, there's going to be another video that's connected to this one, and it's talking about me being in my vortex and about some of the things that I'd experienced. It was my own experiment that I did to pretty much get inside of myself to find out how I am, what I'm thinking, and every second of my day. And I think I did it for 2 days. And the reason why I did it for those 2 days is because I was home and I didn't really interact with a lot of people. I didn't interact with a lot of people. I ended up connecting with my sister-in-law, and that was just with a text. But I decided to just be with myself for those particular 2 days, just to kind of get in, I went into my head. I was my own therapist. And actually, everybody can do it, but sometimes we all need some assistance at some place and juncture. If you, and what I mean by that is support. It is always helpful, and it's just always good sometimes to have somebody that to support system to give you that next push because sometimes we can get stuck in certain places. And, for me, I've been stuck in certain places as well. Now, my experience is not always, is not like everybody else's, and everybody's experience is not like mine. So, but I do know that in every way, shape, or form in life, sometimes you need some kind of support in some area of your life. And there's always someone there. And I'm saying always, because that's just been my experience, that especially if you call on that, if you're calling on someone to be there for you, someone always will be. So just put that out there because it's important. And so the first official relationship is the one with yourself. And so I'm just going to touch a little bit on, there was a video that I made, and I couldn't finish. Well, it's not that I couldn't finish it, but I had said that I was going to go back and talk about what my experience was, because more of the fullness of my experience regarding my own personal relationship, that means my own love relationship. Of course, first and foremost, the love relationship that I have for myself, and then the love relationship that I have with my significant other. Anyway, and of course, the smile there is a sign that, whatever, like, yeah. And you know what, quite honestly, I can't say everything is good, and I can't say everything is bad. I can only say that everything is, and I'm okay with what is. We're not physically together, but everything is, and I'm happy where I'm at. That's what's important. And I'm so excited about this, to share this with you, because I know that it is so important. In our day-to-day world, people are going on Match.com, all kinds of relationship, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you find that love person, but let me tell you, they're your mirror. So wherever you are in your relationship with yourself, know that whatever issues that you might have, or certain things that you need to work on with yourself, they're going to come up with that person. Good, bad. What do they say? There's a movie, that movie with Clint Eastwood. The good, the bad, the ugly. Oh God, I can't remember it. But anyway, yeah, all that's you. It's called loving your shadow self. The good, the bad, the all of it. Just, you've got to master loving every part of yourself. And I feel like for me, I've gotten to a place of mastery. However, I'm not the best master of them all. I can't say that. But I will say I'm doing my best, and I can definitely see the transformation that's happening inside of my life. And I'm so grateful for what I've learned. Now, I received my certification with Relationship Reinvented. I'm so grateful for them and their relationship that evolved over time, and them sharing their videos. So if you ever go online and you're interested in knowing about them, plug in. Like, the reason why I say this is because I look at it this way. I'm not the coach for everybody, but there's somebody out there for you if there's somebody that you can connect to. That's how I see it. And there's always someone there that has the ability to connect to what you require in your life. Everybody's life is different, and everybody needs something on their path that may not be what I have to offer, but there's somebody out there that can offer it. And I'm so glad to just, plug that in. So anyway, and like I said, it's Relationship Reinvented. And that's where I got my certification, and I am so grateful. When I first started off my journey with them, I was in a relationship, and the original reason why I started my relationship experience with that coaching opportunity was to pretty much learn about myself, because I needed to heal myself. I was in a relationship that I could not clearly see that was something. It was kind of like, how can I put it? Basically, what was happening with my experience was that I was loving someone, and I can honestly, well, I can only say with what my perspective is. So my perspective at that time was that I love this person. I love this person, and I'm in love with this person. And this person is not doing what I anticipate or expect for them to do. And so then I'm going through this heart-wrenching pain of, oh my God, I don't understand. I love this person. What's going on? Why are they not reciprocating my same feelings? I don't understand this. But at the same time, then they reach out to me, and then it was like this, it was dysfunctional. That's all I can say about it. It was dysfunctional. And pretty much what I can honestly say about that was that I was looking for something outside of myself. And I didn't even realize that I was looking for something outside of myself. So I moved to another state thinking that I am, well, not thinking, I was in love. I mean, I had the feelings of what is considered in love. You know, you watch all those movies that been programmed in your mind, like this is what love is supposed to look like, and this is what love is supposed to feel like, and this is this. Not. I felt like I was in pain. My heart felt like it was taken and shoved down and, mutilated. But look, I'm still here and I'm not crazy. Or am I? No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, basically I got through it by processing through my experience. But I went through my experience on my own with myself first before I found Relationship Reinvented. But what I realized on my journey with the relationship that I was having with this person, that it was like tug of war. It was like back here, no, back there. Well, what I learned from my relationship with this person, and let me tell you, he was one of my best teachers. Every person that you're in a relationship with are your teachers. They're your best teachers because they give you the ability to look more inside of yourself if you take the opportunity to do so. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to, but I encourage you to take that time. And when you decide to remove yourself from that storyline and that interaction with that person, and just take a look within yourself and find something inside of you and make you like wake up a light bulb moment. Because every relationship, I can honestly say for myself, is that I always had beautiful, wonderful teachers, because those love relationships, they tend to wake you up. So I'm going to fast forward. I'm not going to go into detail with my relationships because it would take a little time. But what I will say, and maybe later I'll share about, but I'm going to fast forward with my most current relationship because I'm, again, learning more about myself and having the opportunity to love more of myself. Well, my current relationship, of course, with myself again, and showing me myself, is that I love a man that is absolutely wonderful. But it's because I'm wonderful. And if I can see him as wonderful, so am I. We are on our pathway in loving more of ourselves. And like I said, we're not physically together, but that's okay. Everything happens in its perfect time. And I know that. And I love that. Well, one of the things that I've learned from this relationship that I have with this most recent beautiful being is that I learned how to more love myself. And then also, there were no tears. There was a time that I heard Spirit tell me that there won't be any pain, no hurt, no evil, none of that. And I thought, what are you talking about? I don't get that. Like, in this world that we live in, it's like, yeah, you have pain. You have anger. You have hurt. You have all of that. How could you possibly not have that? Well, there was a situation that happened with my love person, my love person, and it caused me to be perplexed. It caused me to be bewildered. it caused me to be like, what the heck is going on? I've never had this experience before, but it was an awakening moment. Again, I went through another awakening in a relationship, but it was the relationship that I had with myself. And what to me I learned is that there was a clearing that needed to take place because I still had some attachment. So that's one of the main things about relationships that we get in. We have expectations and we have attachments. Now, prior to my relationship with this person that I'm in a relationship with now, I didn't have any attachment to this particular person. However, well, I did have some attachment, but I worked my way through that consciously with full awareness of what I was feeling and knowing because I had gone through my relationship coaching experience. And that was, it was like fresh and brand new. And so sometimes when you're going through experiences, sometimes you get another experience to show you, okay, there's a little bit more work that you need to do. And that's exactly what happened. And so with this current experience, I was, like I said, bewildered. I didn't feel like I was stabbed, but it's like, we're going to punch you. It was like another awakening moment, but it was more to make me aware of loving myself, that no relationship on this planet or in this world, or even expanded beyond that, doesn't have anything to do with you loving yourself, because you're first. If you don't love yourself, who else is going to love you the way you want to be loved? Who the hell else is going to love you the way you want to be loved? No one. No one, nowhere, in no way is going to love you like you deserve to be loved if you cannot love yourself first. That's what I learned through all of my relationship love journeys. You have to love yourself first. You have to be okay with being with yourself, not by yourself, with yourself. You have to be okay with being what is considered alone. You're not alone. You're with yourself. You're important. Now, how is it that when people fall in love, they're like, oh, I feel like I'm on top of the world. But when something starts going awry and something is not consistent to what your expectations and your so-called wants are, you just lose yourself. And it's like, that's because you've given yourself over to another person. Now, everybody out there is not going to agree with what I'm saying, and that's okay. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are willing and ready to move forward past all of their pain, past all of their hurt, past all of their just misunderstanding, so you can understand yourself inside of the emotions that you feel, inside of the significance of how important you are, inside the beauty and the heavenly place of you. You're like heaven. And in the physical world, you're not going to find that heaven unless you love yourself. Loving yourself is one of the most important things you can do. The most important. I feel and I think that the world in some way is the way it is because we have chosen to look outside of ourselves and not finding that beauty, but there's an ability and an opportunity to find that beauty when you have a relationship that goes awry, and it makes you sit there and ponder. If you choose to ponder, there's a next phase of all the pain that you feel like your heart is hurting and you feel like you're going to die. I've been there. I've been there where you feel like you're just going to die. And it does feel like death because you are dying. You're dying to that old way of programming. You're dying to that old way of thinking. No one is going to love you ever the way you need to be loved unless you love yourself. You got to love you. You're the most important expression on this planet. The most important. How do I know that? Because I love me. Now, there are certain degrees of you moving into loving yourself. It's inevitable. Because you have the ability in every experience that you have in your day-to-day life to make certain decisions that move you towards loving yourself. You have to ask yourself a question. Do I desire that or I don't desire that? Do I choose that or don't choose that? Do I deserve to be treated like that or I don't deserve to be treated like that? Those are particular questions that come up in our day-to-day life, and they have to do with the relationship that you have with yourself. What kind of relationship are you having with yourself? Is it a good one? Is it a positive? Is it loving? Is it kind? Is it compassion? Is it joyful? Is it all of the virtues and expressions that I state on my show? Is it loving? Is it inspirational? Is it passionate? Does it have compassion? Is it kind? I don't know if I said joyful. Might have said joyful already. Do you have those virtues and the love that you have for yourself? Can you honestly look inside and look at yourself in the mirror and say that you love yourself? If you're not at that place, it's okay. It doesn't happen overnight. Maybe it can. I'm not going to say there's no way, shape, and form that it can't. What I'm saying is that there's an ability for you to take steps towards more loving yourself. And I can assist and be an advocate for that. I can assist and be an advocate for that shift, that you are making the best and most wonderful choice in the world. And it's about you. You're important. So anyway, I think the only thing that I didn't touch on is that I remember having the most recent part of this part of the relationship that I'm having with, of course, myself and the person that I'm in love with, which is first and foremost myself, because I'm in love with myself. But I'm in love with a beautiful, kind, loving, precious man. And it's because I love myself. And I have the ability for him to love himself where he's at. I'm so grateful for that. So there was an ability for me to cry about the love that expectation, because we tend to cry about something that doesn't. It's like, why didn't this happen? You have an expectation of something to happen, and then it's kind of like your chain is jerked. So I had that happen to me, but I had to go within myself and sit with myself and have compassion. That's the word. I had compassion for myself, and I had compassion for him. And then all I was left with was still love. And I didn't realize or know how that is, or how it was that I could move past that. And quite honestly, it wasn't hard. And I didn't have any tears to shed. Hence what I said about spirit. There's no hurt, no pain, no anger, no evil. Just love. I had love for myself and I had love for him. And it still exists that way. It's amazing. Didn't know could be here. Didn't know, had an idea because of what I was told, but that's why we have experiences our day-to-day life. We go through those painful experiences to assist us in waking ourselves up so we can realize how important we are and how much love is there for us. It's always been there. It's never gone away. It's just we forgot about it. It's in our humanity, in the beauty of our souls. I'm not choosing to let it go. And I trust that you aren't either. So go and visit my website and find out about all of the relationship um, opportunities that I have and that I'm offering. And you let me know where you're at and we can talk. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Be loving to yourself. Be magnificent to yourself every opportunity that you have. And enjoy this video that I'm going to show about me being my vortex experiment. Anyway, you take care, and goodness to you, love to you, compassion to you, passion to you, joy to you, inspiration to you, kindness to you. Be well. Thank you. What's the tea with Nikkolayla? Ting ting. Take care. Bye. Hello, everyone. Anyway, today I'm playing this by kind of by ear. Actually, I'm gonna share something regarding the vortex, and first and foremost, I'm gonna share the definition that I found about the vortex. It says what a vortex is: a precursor. A vortex is a vibrational state of being that is a precursor of all positive motion forward of all that is. It is pure positive source. All dreams and everything good is eternal pool of source. You can feel it. So anyways, regarding the vortex, that's what I said I'm mastering, and that's what I'm working towards. And I actually am really enjoying the experience because it's allowing me to be even more conscious than I already was. And so during the I think that was more like the holiday week, a few days I decided to like just hang out with myself and be in the bed and actually be conscious about every single thing I was doing. So I spent time with myself. I think it was 2 days in a row. I decided to spend some time with myself and actually document some of the things that I did. I'm not going to go into the detail about every step that I did, but I did this as an experiment for myself because I wanted to see what was I doing? What was I thinking? How did I feel? And of course, if you're with yourself, you can go through all kinds of different emotions depending on what kind of spiritual space that you're in your life. You can have ups, you can have downs, you can have so-called negative experiences, you can have positive experiences. Well, I would say my experiences were quite balanced. I didn't have a whole bunch of different interaction, and I don't remember. I'd have to look back at my notes, and right now I'm not going to. But I don't remember really talking to anybody. I think, yes, I do. So the first day that I started, I actually really didn't talk to anybody. I had reached out to my sister-in-law because she had texted me and found out that, I let her know. I'm like, I'm in the vortex. It was so funny because she's aware of all of this. I let her know that I was in the vortex and that I wanted to remain there. And since I wanted to remain there, I wanted to see how I could continue on remaining there and be conscious of every thought that I had. Now, I set it up, I think Abraham Hicks talks about setting up that 17 seconds of the day, before you wake up. That's the best time to set that tone for the day. I believe I did that. It's been a little while, so I got to get better on documenting
remembering, because life, I'm telling you, there's a lot of activity in our lives, 1 minute after the other. I was like, you can't have somebody sitting there and like constantly documenting every detail of your life, although there is something called the Akashic records, and your life is documented. So you know that's a no whole nother subject. But anyway, as far as I know, the part that I documented, I let her know that I wanted to stay in my vortex, and I was in this very good feeling balanced space. And I laid in the bed just like I had mentioned before, but this time I just kind of like sat there in this just being space and practiced it, just listening to every thought that I actually had. It's like, okay, so what do you want to do? And at first, I really wasn't asking myself any particular questions until I actually felt like I was wanting to ask myself some questions. So, what I got from the 2 days, I let my sister-in-law know that I was going to give her a call the next day, and tell her, I was telling her that I was milking my being in my vortex. So my whole day was so relaxed. It was just so peaceful. And then that next day rolled into the next day, and same thing, relaxed and peaceful. However, I had a little bit more activity in it. I had a conversation with her, just more relaxation and more just peace, 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 peace. So when I started my work week, oh, that's another thing. My work week was freaking awesome. One thing, it went so fast, but I like, even if it didn't go fast, it would have been fine too. However, it wasn't just that it wasn't, I was conscious. I was conscious, and I somehow made a decision inside of my experience, is that I was setting the tone for every day. So it was kind of like one day rolled into the next day and the next day. However, what I did notice is that if I start feeling rushed, now, I was so conscious, I don't remember exactly. I think this happened the next week after. Yeah, this is what happened the next week after. This is what I noticed. So that first week that I had already started my vortex practice of being, milking it and being in a relaxed conscious thought process, and just actually moving by inspiration. And so that was the practice that I had used for those 2 days, is just doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, and not forcing it, not pushing it, just being in that space all day long. And what I was doing was I was practicing actually staying still by listening. And my listening was, and my movement was by inspiration when I felt inspired to do something. And I didn't do anything unless I felt like, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm not going to do anything. Okay, I'm just going to sit here and wait until I have a particular thought that assists me in the movement of where I'm going. And I sat in that energy for those 2 days, and one thing rolled into the other. And my week was just as smooth as it can be. It was like so smooth. Now, it's not that I don't have smooth days. However, there are interactions and things happening, but I wasn't moved by any of it. Like, I had so much ease and grace. The office that I work in, so much ease and grace, so much peace. My interaction with people, so much peace. Every person, no matter what was going on, so much peace. It was so funny. But I noticed the next week after, oh my God, what I noticed is that I've become even more sensitive to when I'm not in the vortex. And so what I'm saying that is, I was getting ready for work, right? In the morning. And in my mind, I start rushing. I'm like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to get that done. I got to be, here at a certain time. Oh my God, la, 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 la. And so-called negative thoughts, lower vibrational thoughts started coming in my head. I mean, it was like one after the other, after the other, after the other, and it actually cued me in. So I got the contrast is that I begin to have one lower vibrational, what was is considered negative thought after the other, and they didn't. None of them had anything to do with each other. And I was going, what the hell? And I could feel them, and they were just feeling so irritating to me. And I was like, oh my God. And so I was conscious of them, which is good. And I was like, I can't stay here. No, 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 no. I'm quite aware of what is happening. So the good thing about me, where I'm at, is that if I found that quiet, not quiet, but I found music. I have music that I know that brings me to this peaceful place. And actually, I'll note it in underneath. I'll post it. Ra ma da sa se sa su song. Now, some of it has to do with earth, sun. I It's very a higher vibrational, energetic music that can bring you to a more peaceful place. And so when and this was on my way to work. So I'm playing this on my way to work because I know what can not fix me, but bring me back into a higher vibrational space. I know exactly what I need. And so once I got myself settled in the car, still by the way, still having those lower vibrational frequency thought processes. I mean, I was like freaking one after that, or boom, boom, boom. I'm like, you know, okay, I'll give an example of like, oh my God, oh, what if this happens with the car, or what if, and I was going, what the hell? Oh, I'm gonna be late. Oh, this one. I mean, it was like, what the heck it was just ridiculous, actually. But the good thing is I already knew what to do. I already knew that I needed to actually get back into my vortex. I have to laugh about it because it's quite comical. Because when you get to a place where you're consciously aware that you're not in the vortex, you have more, because you're conscious about it and you know what to do. And so when you find that thing that helps you just like move right back into that space of peace and prosperity and abundance and love and joy, it's easy to get back in. And I'm just so grateful that I know what works for me. So you have to know what works for you. So I get in the car and I put that bad boy on my phone, connected to the car, and I'm on, and I raise up the volume. And on my way to work, I'm driving short period of time. Don't work. I don't live far from where I work, so I'm just driving and people over here, people over here, people over here, people back there. Everybody's right. Oh, I'm just enjoying, and I'm just oh, my drive to work was so wonderful and peaceful. I just enjoyed myself. So anybody has the ability to do that, because it was just, and so that whole lower vibrational thing happened twice. And I did the same thing and it so worked. Oh my God. I was at work humming and singing and enjoying with a big old smile on my face. Oh, and that's the other thing. I've done this before. I've slept and had a smile on my face. Like the whole week that I had been in my vortex for those 2 days, like stayed in my vortex the whole entire day, I was falling asleep with a smile on my face and felt like the smile stayed on my face all day long. I love it. However, I do have the realization that, when I'm not in my vortex, oh, I have to tell this story. It's so funny. So today I'm at work and I actually didn't feel bad, but man, oh man. But I'm conscious of myself. I'm conscious of my behaviors. I'm conscious of my interactions with people. So I'm talking on now. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Like I have a lot of things, one, to do at work, and also interacting with all kinds of different people, a lot of activity, and it was just me in the office because my assistant wasn't there. However, I got it done. And for some reason I already had set the tone that it was just going to be easy and graceful no matter what. And I was going to get the work done when I could get it done. That's exactly how it went. It's like I get it done. However, I get a call, and it's kind of like a telemarketer call, something like that. So they ask me a question. They're like, "Oh, was the owner in?" And I'm like, "No." And at first, for some reason, I was getting the thought process is that this is a call that I need to take. It's definitely important, and every call definitely can be important, in the perspective of it all. But anyway, so I'm taking this call, and as she continues to talk, now this is a live person because usually robots I hang up on. I'm not a robot. I'm not talking to a robot. I'm a human being. Period. So, and there it is. There it is. So I'm talking to this person, and she asked me a question about how is such and such in. Is the owner, and I say, no, he's not. Can I take a message? La 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 la. And she says, or how can I help you? And she begins to say, oh, well, we've got this, like we're noticing this particular thing is happening with this company. And I go, okay. And I was like, where are you calling from? And I'm telling you, I went into because the energetic field that I got from her, now I can read energy too. So the energetic field that I got from her the call was like bogus. It didn't have relatability. So that's another thing. Your gifts can turn on when you start getting into your vortex, your gifts. Now, I have a lot of gifts that actually have already turned on, but I can see that there's going to continue to be more. I can see how the possibility of being in your vortex, because being in your vortex is actually being the essence of source. So the definition, it says it's pure positive source. That means every time you have the ability to be in line with prime source creator, when you're in your vortex, you're connected to source. That means your hearing, your sight, your motivation, your will, everything about living life has the ability to become easier. Now, I've never heard Abraham Hicks talk about that, but my knowing, my feeling of knowing already tunes into that particular concept. Like there's no way that you cannot be unified in that connection with source, because source is know all, be all, is all. So then that means that you're operating in that know all, be all, is all connection when you choose to be. So that means that all the decisions that you're making, you're not confused, you have more clarity. And she talks about this throughout a lot of the videos that have been shared, is that you get more clarity, you get more insight, you get more wisdom. I mean, who doesn't want any of that in their lives? Because what happens is you make your life easier. You're not struggling so difficultly for an answer. You have a solution. And when you become more connected to your vortex, you always are living in a place of solution because you're tapped in and tuned in and turned on. Your consciousness is, you're able to observe things from oh my gosh, I'm just getting something right now. You're able to consciously be aware of your interaction with everything and everybody from the source level. And I'm going to start ending this particular video. I might continue it on in the next video that I make. So Yeah, I had a revelation, or it wasn't just a revelation, it was a request. And I made my request a long time ago that I wanted to see and hear. I wanted to be, I wanted to see from Source's perspective. And I'm just now getting that now, like right now while I'm talking. It's like, oh my God, I finally, that particular request, I'm just now realizing that that request has come to pass. It has to do with you being in your vortex. And when you're in your vortex, you're more of source. And when you're more of source, then you're more aligned to making particular decisions that are source based, prime source creator based. So, and then your perspective is clear and you can see from the viewpoint of prime source creator. So your consciousness changes and shifts. But anyway, I'm going to continue this video on something else. I want to say goodbye for now. I'm not for sure of the exact perspective that I'm going to be maneuvering, but I choose to make my videos between like 15 to 20 minutes, not too long, just enough, and then I'll continue and all. So I will see you guys later, and thank you so much for watching. I am so appreciative of you, and stay in your vortex. Until the next time, be well, be good to yourselves, and love, love, love more of your beingness, more of your beauty, more of your oneness. Be safe, be good to yourself, and stay in your vortex. Bye bye.